Hi guys, it's Wayne from Wayne Goodman Photography and Wayne's Got Gas. The Metabones adapter that I had on order has arrived this morning, so I'm now able to compare that to the previous adapter I had, which was the Comlight. In no way did I have any intention of buying said Metabones adapter because it's an absolute fortune, but the more I thought about it, I mean, I've spent all this money on the camera. That's an incredible camera. And let's hope, just by chance, that Canon lenses can work well with it. To be honest though, I'm sceptical, but you know, sometimes, I mean, there's no proper reviews out there that I've found with the Metabones, so you've just got to bite the bullet sometimes, haven't you, and just go for it. So we'll see how it behaves. Obviously, some people have showed good results at the very beginning with the prototype versions of the camera. I don't know if there was any difference in firmware with those, but you know, we'll do some tests today. I'm going to use I've got a 17mm tilt shift lens here, it's just out of shot. I've also got the 70-200 here, and this is the first version, and that's from Canon, but it's the IS-USM one, so it's an incredible lens, but the first version, I've seen videos with the second version, but I've not seen videos with the first version. And also I have, which some people complain about in the first video using this, but you know, I actually do want to use it, so I'm going to try a video with this and without this. And what this does is it's a 2x extender, and basically it takes that 70-200 up to 140-400, and whereas this on its own, this lens is 2.8 aperture, because of the 2x extender it creates a minimum aperture of f5.6, but it's such a big distance of a lens that you can actually still blur the background incredibly well, even up to like f11 sometimes, it depends what you're focusing on. So first things first, let's unbox this Metabone. So I've already taken it out of the main box. Now somebody said on one of the comments that there are plenty of fakes around of these adapters, so that's why I wanted to show you the box as well. I wasn't just going to literally show you this on the camera, because as soon as he said that, I couldn't believe, I mean, well, I can believe they'll fake anything, but you know, literally they will fake anything, won't they? So so this is the box. I know this is all genuine because I bought this from actually a proper Metabones authorized dealer. If you go to the Metabones website, I think it was metabones.com, it has a list of all the suppliers in all the countries, and I found this dealership, which to be honest, they've been absolutely fantastic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put details of them in this video as well in the description, like I did on the video telling you I bought a Metabones, because A, they were really helpful, really nice to talk to, you know, and B, they also said they have, well, a couple of days ago they had 2 more in stock, and I believe they're very hard to get hold of at the minute, these. So if they've still got them, then that's great for you, because you know, hopefully 2 people out there will find this useful. So I'll stick that in the description. So here's the front of the box. We've got the sides. So this all is an aid of just showing you, you know, sort of what a real one looks like. And you can see there, just let me try and focus the camera. We've got Metabones Canon EF2 E Mount T4 black matte. Okay, so it's the T mount, it's the latest one. So this is the one that's, you know, the reviewers were using at the beginning, before the camera was on the market. So let's have a look inside. So we now have, from inside that cardboard box, we have this plastic case, and that's proper, it's a real tough case actually, so don't think you'll be having any problems if you do drop it. And here's the actual adapter straight away actually, so let's take that out of there. Yeah, I mean, not much to say really, is there? Is an adapter. I have got the Comlight next to me, so I'm going to sort of quickly show the differences in size at least. So we have a front cap and a back cap with this one. Now with the Comlight, I didn't get any caps. I've actually stuck my Canon body cap on there just to protect it a little bit maybe, but I'm sure you don't really need it, but you know, anyway. We have all the contacts there. to be able to focus the lens and for the lens to send the, you know, things like aperture data back to the camera, so it can be in your EXIF data of your photos, and more contacts there. So feels like quite a weighty thing. Probably actually they're very similar, they're on a par. I would have thought they're both made from brass or something along those lines, because they both feel incredibly solid. If you held them side by side, honestly, you know, you wouldn't know the difference. Key difference with the Metabones, and I am going to make sure I've got the latest firmware on it, is you have this little micro USB port there, and what that allows you to do is there's software in here which obviously talks between the lens and the camera body, and you can actually update the software in here. It's called firmware. You might have done it before on, say, a mobile phone or other cameras that you've had. If you've had a Fuji, you'll know that the firmware updates are quite popular because they tend to add features. And what these will do is the firmware update on this will actually add compatibility between other lenses. So any new lenses that come out in the future from Canon, you know, hopefully there'll be something done by Metabones to make them as compatible as possible. I've never had one of these before, so I don't know how on the ball they are when it comes to all that sort of stuff. But you know, there's the opportunity, at least, which on the Comlight, well, as far as I know, I've not seen any ports on it. But on the Comlight, it's basically it is what you get. What you see is what you get right now. And if you do, you know, if they do make any updates, you'd probably have to buy a new adapter. So that's just something to take into account. Here, I think this button here sort of opens the aperture right up, just to help with focusing, I believe. You've got the release button here. Compared to, yeah, I mean, they're both very similar. It wouldn't surprise me if both of these were made at the same factory, to be honest, and it's just different brands with different features, because they do feel incredibly similar. They weigh very similar amounts, I'm sure, and they certainly seem to have similar build quality, similar materials. This one has more, well, you can see here, this one actually has sort of Phillips head screws around it, and there's only 4 of them, and I have heard reports that over time those can unscrew. This one, which is the Metabones, has the Torx head type screw, and it has 1, 2, 3, 6 of them, so probably, you know, that's going to help in regards to durability. Another pointer there is, I think that's the serial number, so you know, that's going to show you, you know, that it's real as well. Hopefully that's another form of authenticity of this product. But yeah, whether I'm going to carry this around for the Metabones, I don't know, but it could be quite handy for just like little your batteries and stuff like that if you're going on a sort of a trip. You know, there's no harm in it. Oh, it's got actually in there, didn't realise, it's got some little tools. There's another one as well, and that must be if the screws do start to unravel, you've got the tools there to actually be able to resolve, you know, sort that out wherever you are. So seems to be quite well thought out. Another issue, not an issue, another feature I can see is this is the Comlight adapter. If we just look there, it's a matte black interior, so all inside is matte black. It's like it's just like a very dull matte paint to that. And what you can sometimes get with these adapters is internal reflections. So you put the adapter on the camera, you put the lens on the adapter, and because there's a bit of extra distance now and various things going on, the light bounces around inside, and you can sometimes get internal reflections which then show up on the images. Now, it's worse with something like a speed booster. You might have heard of the Metabones speed booster. That actually has a lens here, which allows for various, well, obviously an improvement in lens speed and a few other things, but that is even worse as well for the internal reflections, apparently. But this tool here is thicker that's in here, and that will be actually, I've just realised, to remove the tripod mount, so you can just have a purely circular unit. It's probably more sturdy, the tripod mounts, compared to the Comlight, but the the com light you can actually just remove, but what I have noticed with the com light, when it's on, say, that 70-200 lens, which is obviously a very heavy lens, it moves about. Even though it feels solid now, trust me, the weight of that lens starts to make it sort of wobble about, and I can actually still wobble it there. Even if I tighten it up, it's still a tiny bit of flex in that. I wouldn't expect there's going to be any flex in the Metabones actually, because of the way that it's screwed on with two proper, you know, heavy screws. So I think it's going to be better for that reason. Back to the internal reflection, as you see, we've got the matte paint here, and on this one we actually have, I don't know if it'll come out, let's see if I can, I've not got a torch or anything to just, nope, I can't get that to do. But basically what we have is we have like a felt sort of interior, so it's an actual material rather than paint. So it's, you know, it's soft to the touch actually, and what that will do is it will stop the reflections even more, hopefully. So, you know, it seems like a really well designed product. Whether it's worth £400 UK pounds or so, I mean that's how much this was, is another matter. You know, we will find out with the focus capabilities, because if this turns out to be no faster with the latest firmware than the com light at the moment, then obviously you can save an absolute packet, because this was actually about, what would that be? It'd be something like 7 times less the price compared to this one. I mean, that's a huge difference. That's just, you know, I mean, one of my considerations with this is, if this isn't as good as they say it's going to be, I'll just keep my Canon 7D and I'll use that with my fast lens, my tele lenses, you know, and various other things. So I'll have 2 cameras, which gives me more flexibility, I suppose, anyway. But, you know, it's basically, it's the same price as a used Canon 7D body, more or less. So do you then, you know, what's the situation then? Do you keep the second camera, or do you just have this to replace that camera? So a bit of a weird one. We'll find out in the next few videos, I guess, as to how it performs and whether it's going to stay or not. And yeah, so keep subscribing, keep commenting, and this has been an unboxing of the Metabones 4, and I'll see you in the next video. We'll get some more videos of the, you know, going over the test now. Thanks.